Hi there, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I make junk journals out of old books whose next stop in life was going to be the recycle depot, but instead it's landed in my art studio and it's going to become a journal. So this book is 99 years old. We've been working on it for a little while now. And I'm loving the cover now. I'm very happy with it since we added the photo corners to that photo and some old lace, very old lace, to the top and bottom that sort of matches the lace curtains in that window. There we go. So, because she's lace curtain Irish, I've decided this is Mrs. Drummond because the book was Dr. Drummond's complete poems. So that's Mrs. Drummond and that's her dog Sporty. I just decided it. And the next exciting part of the junk journal process for me is, drum roll, making the signatures. So I've got Dr. Drummond's complete poems, 1926, the measurement. So 1.5 inches would typically, they would suggest 6 signatures. I like off 7 signatures, and I like more smaller signatures. So we're going to do 9 signatures. So, and again, I'm still in my all sorts mood. So I have found, I've been going through the stuff that I should put away after I finish a journal, and don't. It gets thrown back into a basket that then stays over on one of my other tables. So I've actually found some signatures that seem to were going to be going into another journal because some of the pages are already pierced. And that doesn't matter. They're still usable, even if you have to pierce new holes at the new measurement. So that's okay because we can, they'll still hold very nicely. Those are just little pinpricks. So I'm going to make use of these. Let's see how many we've got here to start this. So, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh boy, 6, I like it, 7, 8, 9, oh maybe I'll just even it off, 9. That way I have, I'll still put these in. That way I have my base outer signature for the time being. I will still switch up the folios as needed. So let's put you somewhere safe. And let's get a folio out of the text block. And is that? That is. So I can make my template to measure my other folios that I'm going to create from. I need to find my seam ripper. One moment. Found the seam ripper. It's going to be a hot one today where I live, up here, just east of Toronto, or if you're from here, Toronto. I know there's a tidier way to get these tight ones out, but I'm not too worried because if this one gets torn apart, it's just my template. You know what? And this is what you do when it doesn't matter. You just go in and dig and cut. There. This is the ruthless method. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could just gently rip it out anyways. There we go. The Habitant Summer. Oh, there we go. So that will be our template. Okay. And pen. Oh, the blue nails are gone. Now I still have, I wonder if it's still here. This is not sponsored, but wow, what a product. If you've got peely, chippy nails, which I have, mine like to peel off because they're very soft. And my daughter, her manicurist, I asked her to ask her manicurist what she suggested, and she suggested OPI Nail Envy. Where I live in Canada, not cheap, but wowee, my nails are, I've never had nails like this. I've never been able to grow them this long. And so it's it's called Nail Envy Nail Strengthener. So give it a go if you've got crummy little nails like I do, and see if that helps you. It sure is helpful for me. It's one of the, for me, my nails were always bad, but let's go template while I'm thinking. Mine were always bad from being in shampoo basins. Well, actually, initially, as a young person, I was a terrible nail biter. Terrible. To the point of chipping my teeth. And it was finally when I broke off, completely snapped off in half one of my lower teeth, that that finally got me to stop biting my nails. So that also did not help with the nail beds, because when you bite your nails, you slowly force that quick back. And but this just shows you that after years of not biting my nails, it can restore itself, which blows my mind. And anyhow, now I forget where I was going with that, but that's me, right? Oh, look, squirrel. So now I always take off just a little smidge, and I can't even say, I wish I could tell you how much, whether it's 1/8 of an inch or 1.5 of an inch or 2/8 of an inch. It's just, let's just call it a smidge. Can I measure it? Yeah, it's not quite 1/4 of an inch. So I take that off. It makes the my text block fit into the cover better. If I left it the full width, I've said this before, but I'm repetitive in case someone's new. Then I draw an arrow and a check mark so that I don't double doubt myself. Did I trim this? Did I not? Oh, that's supposed to be an arrow. There. I'll second guess whether I trimmed it or not, and then I have to pull out another folio. And these ones were all, I'm still talking about my nails. Oh well, it's gone. Gone. Quote my granddaughter, Audrey. Gone. All right, so And then it's got, I put a little frosty, clear pinky color on it, just for fun. Mostly because working at my art desk here, I find the whites of my nails don't stay white for very long. Oh, here's an easy way. Hold on. See, I got started. Here's one of my little tricks. Now make sure you've got them all even if you're going to do it all at once, and re-measure. And then just fan them out ever so slightly. So see how I've got them fanned out ever so slightly? Then take your template, hold it where you want it, and then do this. There you go. And now you can just go through and trim your folios. I hand tore these. That should be a little hint as to what book it got pulled out of, because obviously I made too many folios for a book at some point. I put that at the wrong, there. One. Let's do 2 at a time. We can do 2 at a time, right? So I really didn't need to fan them all out, but oh well. Sorry if I'm up and out of sight here. So I will still have to trim those pages. Brain is scatterbrained today, just for Kirby update. We thought she was doing better, and then she was still being fussy and not eating to the point of making herself feel sick. So, oh sorry, I got bit by a bug, if you're wondering what's going on. And before I realized I got bit by a bug, I scratched it, and oh, I put that on the wrong side. It'll still work, but I'll turn that over. Anyhow, so we took her to the vet on, oh, come on. Took her to the vet on Tuesday. See, that was supposed to be my awesome little cheat to share with you. Took her to the vet on Tuesday, and the vet was now concerned that it's possibly Addison's disease. But I looked over the symptoms of Addison's disease, and she seems to only have 2. The poor appetite, and then the throwing up bile from not eating. She's not lethargic. This is a very active pup. And not shaking. No, there's something with their heart. Anyhow, the other symptoms for Addison's she doesn't have, but the vet still said this is worthwhile to explore. So there's the one initial blood draw that they do that would completely rule out Addison's. So we did that one, and unfortunately it did not rule it out. It actually said, this could possibly be Addison's. So then we had to take her back yesterday. And what they do is they do a blood draw. Addison's disease means her adrenal glands are not working properly. And they're not reacting properly to cortisol, which is your fight or flight hormone, which in small doses is very necessary for all of us, because humans can get Addison's. Apparently JFK had Addison's. I better make sure I've got them all in the right direction with the fold on the correct side. Yikes. So what this second test does is they do a blood draw of resting blood, and then they give her an injection of synthetic cortisol. So I think it's called cortisone. They inject her with that. And if her adrenal glands are healthy, the adrenal glands will react the way they should. What that is that it gives her an artificial fight or flight response. It tells her body, oh, you know, the house is on fire, you better get out. That's what I'm talking about with the fight or flight. And then she has to, 1 hour later, they take another blood draw and measure if her adrenal glands had the reaction they're looking for from that injection of cortisone. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am still learning all about this, just in case that is what she has. And so now we are waiting. They said that the blood work can take 24 to 48 hours to hear back. So now we are in the waiting 24 to 48 hours. So by right now it's morning. It's actually Thursday morning for me right now. So by 1 p.m. that will be 24 hours, and then by Friday at 1 p.m. that's 48 hours. So our vet is so wonderful, because they originally arranged for this cortisol test to do it on Thursday. And I phoned them back and I said, please, can you squeeze her in? I said, I'm sorry, but if it takes 48 hours, I'm going to spend the entire weekend worrying, and I'd rather just know she's got it and move on from there. Because, and I should have been upfront about this ahead of time, Addison's disease is controllable. So right now we're at the point where we're actually hoping it's Addison's disease, because that would mean that we can give her a little pill twice a day, and she can, apparently dogs and cats rarely get it, but dogs love it. Dogs can live a full life with Addison's disease. So that's what we are hoping for now, because if it's not Addison's disease, then we're looking at further tests, and we're not happy. So we'll see. Oh, I didn't. Well, let's do two at once. Let's hope this little. I love and hate this little cutting board. It's a decal edge cutting board. I don't like how small it is. And there we go. And what else was it that I hate? Oh, sometimes the paper moves halfway as the guillotine is moving down. The paper moves, so you really have to press hard. On the other hand, see what I mean? It doesn't chop all the way down to the bottom is another one. Sometimes if I should have put the paper up higher. But on the other hand, look at that beautiful decal. I would still get it again. I would. So anyhow, so now I'm waiting. If the phone rings while I'm recording here, I will pause and come back, and we will all find out together what is going on with our little girl. So fingers crossed that it's, right now I'm at the point, fingers crossed it's Addison's. And you know what? If that's the case, it would make sense. I should have, plus you have to do it fast. See, I'm not doing a very good sell job on this little cutting board because I do like it and I would get it again. Maybe I shouldn't be doing two at once, but I'm doing it. Because my husband is type 2 diabetic and I have PBC and dystonia. All right, I'm gonna do the chop really fast. I'm gonna do a determined chop. Yeah, see? Do a chop, put a little oomph in your chop, and you're good to go. I'm going to just use this to measure it. But I want this one to be a little bit wider because it's probably going to be my front one. And I like it. It just is what it is. I've learned over the years. I like it to be a little bit bigger. Number one. So there we go. That's where we stand with our little Miss Curb over there. And we'll see what we go. Otherwise, the vet wants to then start doing elimination with her food to see if what's happening is an allergic reaction to an ingredient in her food. Apparently, lack of appetite and nausea can show themselves in dogs as nausea. Oh, as a it can be because of a. Where's my tiny one? Because of an allergy to food, and apparently chicken is a very, very common. Let's do orange. Very common allergy for dogs. And that would be all poultry products. There we go. Ooh, I didn't close that properly. Do you see that? One. Oh, it works. Yay. Journal gods smiled down upon me. 2. So then we will do elimination with her diet and see. She loves chicken, absolutely loves it. So she will be heartbroken if it's chicken. Apparently pork is quite a good meat for few reactions. And any of the 3, 4, losing track. I should learn that I'm at the point now where I can't talk and craft at the same time. Lamb, rabbit, any of those, I forget what they're called. What kind of meat? Venison. 5. Let's do it this way. 6. 7. 8. So then we'll do that and see if it's that for our little girl. in the meantime, she's on an antacid twice a day. And that actually, today's Thursday, as I said, that's actually worked well for us. We've done that since Monday. She gets doggy Pepsid, not human Pepsid. There once was a time you could give dogs human Pepsid, and then they changed the ingredient list. Now there's something in Pepsid. You used to be able to just go to the grocery store or drugstore and get Pepsid. You could safely give it to your dogs. You can't do that anymore. So we get the ingredient famotidine from our vet, and so she gets that in the morning, and then she has to wait half an hour for breakfast. Well, that's the longest half hour when you've got big brown eyes staring at you saying, hey, we got up. It's time for my brekkie. and there's the brekkie is not happening. So we try and keep her, take her outside, let her have a nice sniff around our yard. We have a nice big backyard. So I think that's been glued on. So let's keep that and put it back into the book. The Poetical Works of William Henry Drummond. Is there a picture of him? There is. Yours faithfully, William Henry Drummond. Now I wonder if that is if that's a folio. Because that could go back in. Let's find there they are. Boy, yesterday when the phone rang at 9 a.m. with bad news blood work, I should have known better. When it's good news, a vet tech will phone and say, good news, Kirby's blood was good. And instead at 9 o'clock, it was, hi, Catherine, this is Dr. So-and-so. And at first I thought, wait, it's usually a vet tech. And then I thought, oh, no. And the oh no was well-founded. Never a dull moment with our little lady here. In memoriam. Oh. Peace to your Northland singer, and farewell. Oh my. Come on. McClelland and Stewart, Toronto. All right. 1897. So it looks like it originally was published in Quebec, or maybe he's Canadian. Okay, now I gotta look him up. Come on, let go carefully. Let go. Just be good. Yes! Now, how did I know that it's 1926? Where was it? There it is. So that definitely goes in the first, for sure. In memory of William Henry Drummond, peace to his poet's soul. Full well he knew to sing for those who know not how to praise the woodsman's life, the farmer's patient toil, the peaceful drama of laborious days. Oh my. Well, imagine being that wonderful that somebody wrote a poem about your life. So we want that picture of him to go in. I don't know whether we want some poetry to go in. Yeah, see the habitant. I should have known with all the French in here. And habitant. Up here, oh, we have habitant pea soup. So good. I love habitant pea soup. My parents loved habitant pea soup so much that they would literally, they were snowbirds, and they would take a full case of habitant pea soup to last them for 6 months, for the full winter down in Florida. When they would head down, there would be the case in the back of the car, and it would be allowed through because there's certain foods you cannot take either way over our border between Canada and the US. You can't take fresh fruit, you can't take raw meat, anything that could possibly have some kind of pest that could infect an area that is not native, or do you know what I mean? So like one time, my mom always packed a little lunch for them for their first day so that they could get lots of road underway. And they were crossing at Detroit, and the old question, do you have any food? And yes, we do. We got a bit of groceries, and he'd look through their boxes of dry goods because they liked red roast tea and habitant pea soup and HP sauce and the usual Canadian things. Craft dinner. And then he said, any fresh fruits, vegetables, meats. And my mom said, well, I've got grapes in our lunch. And he said, those are going to have to go. And she said, are you serious? We're just going to eat them. They'll be inside us. And he said, ma'am, they've got to go, or you've got to go back into Canada, eat them, and then cross again. So she that bothered her for years. And I said, Mom, the same thing would happen if you came into Canada. You can't bring fresh fruits. Board de plouf. Let's take some out of here. And she says, he wouldn't let me get my grapes. And I said, Mom, he wouldn't let anyone take grapes over unless they were being sneaky and didn't declare their grapes. She took things personally. We're just nice people. I remember the first time I had to fly them back. They were both so sick that I had to fly down to Florida, get them as healthy as I could, and then fly them back. And they hadn't flown in years. And this was back when it was just new to everyone. The taking your shoes off and the limited fluids in your carry-on and so forth. And as we were packing the day before, my dad always, all his life, always had a tiny little pocket knife on his keychain. And I said, Dad, that's got to come off. Okay, I want this about William Henry Drummond. That's going in. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put that on like a 5. Anyhow, he had this. Oh, I'm really going over time. The oyster schooner. Oh my. He had this tiny little pocket knife, and he went through several in his lifetime, but there were a few full-blooded Irish. Oh, we may need that one, full-blooded Irish. But he always had a few that were his favorites, and he loved this one. It was Swiss Army, and it was just tiny. And I said, Dad, take it off because they'll take it away from you. You can't take a knife on a plane. But I'm just an old man. And I said, Dad, they don't care how old you are. They don't care if you're 102. You can't take a knife on the plane. And he said, oh, all right. Well, I should have checked, because then we're going through customs, the part where you put everything in buckets, and they'd never done that in their life. And my mother had dementia, and my father was curious and fascinated, wanting to see what was going on, because of course he's an old Air Force guy, right? Royal Canadian Air Force. And then they, you know, put all your medals in the bucket. And at the time, they were making seniors take their belts off and take their shoes off. They didn't, I don't think the Americans have to take your shoes off anymore. Anyhow, so they were doing that, and they spotted the knife on his, oh, I can't find that. Let's find the Irish. And they said, "Sir, you're either going to have to surrender your knife or you're not boarding the plane today." And he said, "But I'm just an old man. What am I going to do?" And they said, "Sir, someone else could get it off of you." Which is a very valid point. And I had warned him, put it in your suitcase, Dad. Put it in your checked suitcase. Nope, he thought, no, they won't turn down a sweet old man. And they certainly did. And that broke his heart that he had to leave his little knife behind. Well, I think I've lost the... Oh, well. Old Dr. Fizzette. Let's do that one. Oh, and it's got some lovely... Let's hope that's old insect guts. You. And the stovepipe hole. This is definitely Canadian. My adventures with my mother and father once they were elderly. They sure, they like to talk about how much my dad's mother, put them through the ringer when she was elderly. And they had no idea. They tag teamed me. They only had Gran to deal with when she was elderly. Granddad had long since passed. And the two of them could barely handle Gran, and there was me on my own with the two of them, and whoa, were they something. The stovepipe hole. Okay, so there's one. Oh, I think I've got two there. One of anything. Oh, I guess I should just go, because this isn't going to change. Oh, I ripped that, so that goes away. You know what? I'm just going to get on with this, and the next time we get together, hopefully I'm going to have added some fun pages, some, you know the usual, Edith Holden and some wildflowers and maybe some Birdwatcher and some Sears catalog, all that good stuff we love. So the next time we get together, that's what they'll be like. So thanks for joining me for yet another chatter session. I apologize for any topics that I left hanging in midair because I forgot what I was talking about. Pretty typical for me. Sorry, there we go. And take a second and say hi down below in the comments. I'll say hi back because there's only a few of us here. So I really do my best and I say hi back. And I hope you're all doing well and safe and safe physically and emotionally, and same with your loved ones anywhere in the world, wherever you are during these challenging times. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.